Cades Cove is the most visited area of the most visited national park, the Great Smoky Mountains. It is an 11-mile one-way loop around the isolated valley which is surrounded by the majestic peaks of the Smokies. It was home to many families and settlers who farmed and grazed animals in the open areas of the valley. By 1850, the population of the cove had reached 685 and was a rather thriving, though isolated, community. Many of the cove structures have been preserved, including cabins, churches, and even a grist mill, the cable mill, located near the visitor center at about the halfway point in the loop. It's a stunning step back into history here in the shadows of the Smoky Mountains that truly is a must-see. Hello everybody. Unfortunately, we're not doing a hike today. Ian was unable to come today, so we're doing something a little different, or I am. I am in the Smokies, of course, but we are in Cades Cove. And here with my kiddo who was in the car. And we are here to go leafing. The colors are quite pretty. We're here at the beginning of the loop. There's the little touristy thing over there where you can get your books. Here's the sign. 11 miles. Speed limit of 20, but you never get to 20 because the traffic is always so bad. We've gotten here early, hoping to at least get ahead of some of that traffic, but yeah, it's already bad. So this is kind of gonna be more like a naturey thing. We're gonna take a lot of pictures of the trees and the colors and stuff like that. We figured this is the perfect place, and we're near peak here in the Smokies, so hopefully we're going to see some bears, and deer, most likely. Doubt we'll see any elk or any other kind of creatures, but we're here, Cades Cove, and we're going to get on it. I'm going to get in my car. All these people think I'm crazy standing out here talking to a stick. Okay, be back. So begins what promised to be a stunning afternoon in one of the most beautiful areas of the Smoky Mountains. We couldn't have asked for better weather, though this morning air was a bit crisp. The fall colors were amazing during our drive down here, so there was no doubt we were about to witness the most stunning, colorful tapestry, courtesy of nature. Check out that old growth tree. Wow, that is an oak, I think. Yeah, I don't know what kind of oak. I have to get closer to it. We're on our way to the John Oliver cabin, which is looks like the first stop. So be back. Check out this canopy against that backdrop of crystal blue sky. What an amazing sight. Excitement was rising. And there it is, folks. John Oliver Cabin. Never been to this, believe it or not. Many times I've been to Cades Cove, just kind of, man. And look at that shot. Yes, we're quite peoply here. Pay attention to that shot a little more in a minute. Man, it's a small cabin. And I guess you can't go up there. There's an upstairs. Look at that. Can you imagine living here and getting to see that every day? Of course, didn't have central heat and air. No indoor plumbing. And, of course, no internet. So, I'm curious what these little signs over here say. Or it could be just these trails if I could keep going. Trail. Okay, it's marking a trail. There's a trail that comes through here, which intrigues me. We might have to come back and do whatever trail this is. So, yeah. Go do some pictures. Back. So we got a friend. A wild turkey.
Run, Thanksgiving's coming.
Sweet. Hopefully we'll see a whole lot more wildlife than just that one turkey. Okay, be back. The John Oliver Cabin is one of the oldest surviving structures in the Smokies, believed to have been constructed in the 1850s. This cabin is actually the honeymoon cabin for the family's son for when he married. So the cabin seen here is not the original cabin built by John Oliver after their settlement here in the Cove. That cabin no longer exists. Let's look at that view. Man. Wonder how cold it is up there. Because it's about 50 here. Man. But it's not too bad. The weather, absolutely gorgeous, which is why there's so many people here. They're out enjoying it too. And
You need to go back?
who can blame them when you have that to see?
See on YouTube someday, huh?
Yeah. Gorgeous. Okay, be back. All around the Cades Cove Valley, the Appalachian peaks seem to stand over the area like a castle guard. These meadows are maintained to keep alive the memories of the settlers who made this valley home, and the mountains seem to surround them like a halo over this heavenly place, where there is nature's beauty no matter where you look. We made the turn off the main loop route to take a peek of the Cades Cove Primitive Baptist Church, one of 3 churches preserved within the cove, the only one we'd yet to visit in previous trips here. Religion was an important part of the lives of those in Cades Cove, and this church was one of the larger congregations. The church and its adjoining graveyard are clear glimpses into the history of such an amazing place, and we love to explore them. Cades Cove Primitive Baptist Church, June 16, 1827. Now there are a number of churches in this Cades Cove area, and we've seen some of them, but we've never been to this one. This one, it's off the loop. You have to go down up this gravel road, which says it's a 2-way road, but yeah, it's a little tight if you're coming against the car going the other way. So we've never been in this one. So this trail is becoming a lot of trail of firsts. This is kind of big compared to the other ones. Pretty nifty. Here's the pulpit. That must be where the wood stove would be to keep the place warm in the winter, because up there, you can see it, that's where the smokestack would go. Okay, we're gonna go outside. Okay. Here's the church graveyard. Most of these little churches here have their old attached graveyard. Pretty neat. So this would be considered a graveyard. There's a lot of people say, we'll get cemeteries and graveyards mixed up. It's like they're used synonymously anymore. But this is a graveyard because it's attached to a church. Cemeteries are not attached to a church. That's a little bit of trivia there for you. Unlike the one we saw at the mill last week, that was a cemetery. It was out there in the middle of the woods, not attached to a church. And I've noticed with these ones here, wow, this person fought in the Revolutionary War. Almost lived to 100 years old. Man, dude was 96. Crazy. These graveyards, especially the ones here in Cades Cove, are a lot more better maintained than those ones that are out in the woods. So the graveyards seem to get more attention than the cemeteries. And that dude was a UT fan. So he must have been a descendant of some of the original people that lived out here, because I believe, don't know this for sure, that the families that lived out here during the creation of the park, the ones that didn't really want to leave, that had family ties to the areas were allowed to still be buried in these areas even after the park was created. So that's why that person that has a 2009 date on it, because the families had some kind of like agreement with the Park Service, from what I understand. So yeah. I'm gonna get off here, get some pictures because it's gorgeous. Be back.
Something to hold on to. Something to hold on to.
Okay, so this is the Methodist Church. This one we have been to before. Pretty cool. Still has the old piano. It is. Well, some of the keys work. There has been a lot of traffic. In reality, the traffic has been kind of it hasn't been bad compared to other times that we've been here. So here is the graveyard for the Methodist Church. Not as big as the last one. And you got a lot of stones that are broken and can't read anymore. But then you got a lot you still can. As with most of these old cemeteries or graveyards, in this case, is how many children are here. And especially out here in the mountains. Oh yeah. World War I veteran there. Covered in coins. Now, I know those coins mean something. As a show of respect, and I know the pennies and the dimes, quarters all have different meanings. I'll look that up. They all have different meanings when they place them on the gravestones of people. I can't remember what the different coins or what they all mean. So here's some more on this one here. And this one, my son and I noticed a lot of those on the gravestones at the cemetery in the Mingus Mill area. And get back to more children here to get the little lamb on their stone. It was not an easy life back then. I mean, you didn't have the vaccines that you have now. And being out here in the mountains, you were far, far from any kind of, even the medical help that they had back then, the doctors that they had back then. These people way out here, they didn't have access to that. So unfortunately, a lot of these people, I mean, there's a lot of, and I mean, you have a lot of children, and then you have a lot of people that died in their 20s and stuff like that. The diseases we don't even hear of now, like smallpox and that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff ran rampant back then. And man, that's a good shot right there. I'm going to pause here and get a shot of that. The kiddo's going to get a shot of that. Okay, be back. And Sons of W.A. and M.R. Hill. So they lost 3 children. Like I said, it was not easy living in the mountains back then, but they did it. Sparks family. There's more Tiptons. Okay, we're done here, and we're going to move on to the next one. Hey, bye.
Something to hold on to. Something to hold on to. You give me something to hold on to.
Missionary Baptist Church. We're maybe a half mile down the road from the Methodist one we were just at. Wow. Look at how well kept up this one is. Pretty neat. Here's the graveyard. Wow, looks like this is all one family back here. Sparks. Oh no, they got Cooper, Thatcher. There's another World War II vet. Notice the vets, military vets, get a lot more coins on there. I need to look that up again. That's most likely the outhouse. Well, even at church, you gotta go potty, man. Well, it was a long time ago. But look how the church is framed by the colors in these trees. It's just gorgeous. Okay, be back. So, parked in one of those spots where you can walk out into the fields. The sign up there saying how they're trying to bring the native grasses of Cades Cove back into this area, so this is like a management area for that. And just walking out in the field, trying to get an idea in my head of what it was like, all the families that lived out here. Just wondering, you know, the farmlands and their grazing lands for their cows. So I'm like walking on the grounds of the people that used to live around here. It's amazing. Just amazing. Temperature has definitely picked up. I'd say we're mid-60s now. Beautiful. So I'm not out in the middle of the woods, and as you can see, there's still, the traffic has definitely picked up. But it's peaceful out here. My kid's up there taking pictures. Guess she didn't want to walk this far. I've left her behind. Yeah, again, missed out on our intended hike for today. Ian's wife is very ill at the moment. She has a compromised immune system, so she can't really get out much. You know, she gets sick very easily, and right now she's already been to some medical attention a couple of times. She's still very sick right now. I'm thinking about my son and his wife a lot right now, especially his wife Jennifer. It just really sucks. But sending positive vibes their way. She gets over this pretty quickly. Talked to him last night, but it was still pretty bad. Not COVID, don't worry. So it's another week off the trail, but I promised my kid I would take her into the Smokies to see the colors, so that's why we're here today. And I decided to make a whole thing out of it. Absolutely beautiful. No bears yet. I have seen a couple deer, turkeys. So, lots of treeage, mountainage. I don't know. It's just something about the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Okay, so I'll ramble for 5 minutes. I'm going to get off and take pictures. Be back. No matter where you look, there are views that simply take your breath away. My daughter Cheyenne and I shared still picture duties on this adventure, so today's stills are a mixture of the two of us. We're not pros, but we hope you'll enjoy what we saw.
Where we wanna be. I know I'll be alright because you give to me something to hold on to. Something to hold on to. You give me something to hold on to.
Since we were here rather early, the traffic on the loop was light, so we were able to meander down the road, taking in the scenery and trying to imagine a simpler time when this road was likely rutted by wagon wheels as folks made their way through the cove, perhaps to visit neighbors, as early residents were prone to do. Despite the hardships, those who lived here were happy and were very proud of these lands they called home. So we're following the little short trail out to the John Oliver cabin, which Ian and I have been to before, but we went a different way. So we never came across this. This is one heck of a large barn, man. Whoa. There's a ramp that goes up there. I don't recommend going up it though. It's full of all kinds of old wood. Oh, that was unexpected. Be back.
Something to hold on to. You give me something to hold on to. Till tomorrow comes.
Okay, so it's the Elijah Oliver cabin. I was wrong. I said John Oliver. It isn't. When Ian and I did this, we came from that trail. Old barn here, which you can't get into anymore, apparently. Probably doing some restoration work. Structure is currently unsafe. You guys can go in. See that? Pretty nifty. Not sure. That could have been a chicken coop or something over there. Not sure. I'm not up on my farm verbiage stuff. So, yeah. This here is a half-mile walk from the parking lot where we came from this time. Not hard, rather pleasant. Beautiful. It's just beautiful here. Okay, be back. Elijah Oliver was the son of John and Lorraine Oliver, the first white residents of the Cove, in the original Cades Cove cabin in 1824. He would grow up on his homestead, but moved away before the Civil War. In 1865 he returned, bought back the family property, and built this cabin in 1866. It is the most remote cabin in Cades Cove. Place, well, can't get upstairs.
Air boats, hangway, oh. I'm gonna take this.
Yeah. This steep staircase that brings you to this second building. Pretty cool. Oops, pardon me. Hey, look, it's a mother-in-law house. No, probably a meat house. They would store their meats. This is a pretty extensive property. It's a lot bigger than a lot of the other cabins that are around Cades Cove. Okay, be back in a moment. Okay, I gotta show you something cool here. More of the ingenuity of the people that lived here in the Smokies. Of course, a lot of it is busted out now, but here's the spring house back here. See, it's built over the stream. And look how they carved out these trees, these thin trees, to direct the water into the spring house here. So if you go inside, This is pretty neat the way it is. The water will drip down into this trough right here. You can gather the water here. And then, of course, this aged a lot since this was probably in use. More carved out trees, which brought the water out there. That's called mountain ingenuity. These were smart people. They knew how to use what the forest gave them. Okay, be back. After we left the cabin to return to the car, we couldn't help but take in the colorful beauty of the trail through the woods. The colors were amazing, and the scenery itself tempted me to stay forever. Even in a touristy spot like Cades Cove, the beauty of the Smokies isn't diminished. Come see the Great Smoky Mountains. During the time we spent meandering around the Elijah Oliver cabin, traffic along the loop became a bit heavier and the pace slowed. However, we were having too good a time for this to dampen our spirits. It was a perfect day all around, and there wasn't anything that could ruin it. So, we're trying to get to the visitor center. Traffic has definitely increased. And that parking lot there looks quite full. That's fine. We're still going to go there and check things out. Yeah. Okay. Let's be back. Okay, so we're about the halfway point on the loop. And we're at the visitor center, which is right there. And another little preserved mountain community. It's a little, well, it's not a working farm like the mountain farm museum that we were at last time. Looks like the mill might be open. Okay, there's blacksmith's shop, I guess you could say. Doesn't look like they're doing any kind of demonstrations today. There are people everywhere. But hey, the people are getting out. They're not sitting at home watching TV. They're opting outside. That's a good thing. Okay, so if you watched last week's video where we went to Mingus Mill, that one was a turbine powered mill where they diverted the Mingus Creek. Here we have a similar diversion, I don't know what creek, going down to the mill here. Now this over here will be your typical water wheel mill, which was the type that they use most often, especially in this area. And hopefully it's open. Last time we were here it was not. Well, so you can see the flume here. Here they got this, looks like a restrictor or whatever. Guess that increases the velocity of the water, I'm guessing. You can see the mill. There's the water wheel. We're going to get up closer to that. Here's some old millstones that they would grind. They'd have one lane flat and then they have another one going across it, rolling across, and that's what we grind it up. Okay, so there's the water wheel. And that's what's going to turn the grinding stone that's inside there. Unlike the turbine from the Mingus mill, which the water dropped down that tower, if you remember, and the turbine was underwater, and it would spin it that way and spin the mill, which is more typical of what they had back then. So hopefully we can get in there. Be back. Gear is just totally cool. There's the grain falling. Can't get in this one. No. Unlike the Mingus mill, like I said, this one
letting
is,
folks in now?
yeah, I was in it last week.
All right.
And that's how I was comparing the two. With this one, you're using your typical water wheel, and that one uses the turbine.
Okay. Yeah, this is a water wheel. For every one time the water wheel turns outside, it turns our gears in here and our top grindstone about 35 times. So
Really?
I'm told that's a very efficient, old-timey hydropower machine.
Yes. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guys.
Pretty much all this stuff.
So that's pretty cool. So every time that thing makes a revolution, the millstone inside, like she said, turns 35 times. That's pretty neat. Okay. Don't think I'm going to go into the house. We've been into it before, and there's just so many people. Just don't think I want to go in there today.
Last year with bank robbery, the end of 310 to Yuma, where I was the villain, and my gang broke me out.
Here's the old barns back here. Can't remember what the cable, I think, still Sarah, I don't know. Can't remember what this lady's name was that owned this house, but she lived to like 90 something. She really hung in there. She was like the matriarch of this whole area. Oh, check out the old wagon. I'm sure that was from the time. Okay, I'm gonna pause here and take some pictures. Be back. Okay, so it was Rebecca Cable, not Sarah Cable. That's who owned the place.
Because there's a drop on there.
And there's her picture. Never married, owned over 600 acres in the Cove. Kept busy spinning, weaving, knitting, farming. Wow. Caring for her brother's children. Yep, 96 years old is what she was. Okay. So, mind if I film?
I don't mind.
Pretty cool.
But here,
That's awesome, man.
pick some songs. You guys want to pick some songs? One side has folk songs, one side has hymns.
How about yesterday?
You know, I was playing in the Primitive Baptist Church, and a 16-year-old, well, not 16, probably younger than 16, a young teenage boy wanted me to play something by the Beatles. And I said, okay.
Had like three big rooms and a big kitchen.
Is it something like that?
Yes. So, what is that?
It is a bowed psaltery. So it's spelled just like in the Bible. David played a psaltery. But what David played was Asian and plucked, like a lap harp. What I'm playing is Scotch, Irish, and German, and played with a bow. I call it the lazy man's violin.
I was gonna say that doesn't really predate the violin, because the violin's pretty old, right?
Violin's, I'm sure, quite old, and I don't know the history of the violin. And people will say different things about the history of the psaltery. You go on the internet and they'll say the first bowed psalteries were made in the late 1800s by a German music teacher to help his students. But I think they go back as much as 250, 300 years to Scotland and Ireland and are akin to the zither. Pick some more songs.
That's pretty impressive.
Well, I can't do all the things a violinist can do. I can't put in vibrato. I can't bow one note and do a bunch with my left hand. I have to do everything with my right hand.
Oh yeah. What's that Appalachian Winter?
Well, that's a good one. I learned this from a hammer dulcimer player. It's real pretty, and it's got something in it that that helps me out. Occasionally there's a triplet, and that's hard to bow real fast, but if I can go do it in one motion with the bow, and that's in this.
I like that. That's pretty. That's awesome. So, how did
I come into this?
come into this? Yeah.
Well,
I would have never.
When I came down here to school back in '71, my senior dorm counselor played the mountain dulcimer. And so I had to have one. So I started playing, my first plucked instrument was the mountain dulcimer. Started playing in '72. Then I got a 5-string banjo, learned a little 3-finger picking. I got an inheritance from a long lost aunt and got a really, really nice rosewood classic Brazilian handmade guitar, which is beautiful, but I don't play it very well. When I got married, my wife got me a mandolin. I got her an auto harp. I got my dad's violin. Can't play it a lick. I need frets. But I'd been going out here to Townsend, the Wooden Strings Dulcimer shop, since the 70s, and these had been sitting on the counter.
You said in Townsend?
Yeah, yeah. Now Wooden Strings is closed right now for the winter, but
that's true.
if you're interested, that's the only card I got. So if you're interested, you can take a picture of it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And you can call
Here's
them.
your sheet back.
Anyway, I picked one of these up about 10 years ago, and they showed me a C scale. Within 5 minutes, I could do Christmas songs. I said, I gotta have one. And I just put all my other instruments down. Because the difference between a plucked string and a bowed string is when you pluck a string, you get the note and you immediately start losing volume. But with a bow, you can hold it out. It's like singing.
Wow.
It's just amazing. And I just fell in love with it. And so I've been playing these for about 10 years. I have 6 of them now. I have 3 of these altos. I got invited to Chattanooga to play in a wedding. When I got down there, I thought, if I break a string, what am I going to do? So I wanted to get a backup. So I went ahead and got a backup. And then a couple of years ago, one of the older wooden strings, they were getting ready to retire. And so they were getting rid of some of their stuff, and this was hers. So this is like a 30-year-old Psalter. You can see by the color of the wood on the top that it's aged more. It's a little more mellow. Really like this. Plus, it's bookended and it's beautiful. I think.
Yes, it is very.
Yes? What you got? Oh, actually, I don't sign the Junior Ranger things.
Okay, so at the end of the...
Yeah, the visitor center.
I actually am not allowed to be a volunteer in the park because these wouldn't have been in Cades Cove.
Oh.
Several rangers wanted me to be a volunteer, and I said, I'd be happy to. And the High Monkey Mark said, nope, that's not a Cades Cove instrument. You wouldn't have had a 32-string instrument in the 1800s in Cades Cove. You know, you wouldn't have had a harp. There's a piano in the Methodist Church. I'm sure it wasn't there till the very late 1800s or early 1900s.
That's why there's no instruments in those old churches.
Yeah.
Okay, that was an unexpected little delight. The gentleman with that instrument. I want one now. Okay, we have left that. Now that people have left this barn, there's nobody here. I'm taking a quick little ganter. I remember the last time we were here, there's another original wagon back there. And this one's in really good shape. Of course, you had some idiot put their initials on there. And here's the stream. Okay, there's the hemlock trees. Okay, be back. Okay, so we're done with the visitor center, which was quite busy. See? Busy. But you can't really blame them because it's such a gorgeous day and such a gorgeous place. I can't blame them at all. I mean, I'm here. Why can't they be here, right? Walking back to the car so we can complete the second half of the loop. Kiddo here bought a CD with some Dulcimer Christmas music. I'm going to crack that open and check it out. We're going to walk through this field getting back to the car just so we can see that. I mean, look at the color. And look, going up the mountain there. Look at all that color up there. People having picnics. It's a popular picnic area right here. Now look, there's a lot more spots than when we first got here. We had to park all the way down there. Yeah, look at that. I'm gonna have to get some photos of that. Okay, shall return. There is always something special to see at the Cades Cove Visitor Center, and today was no different. Today's musical presentation with the bowed poultry was amazing, and that moment alone made our trip today. I was ecstatic to get that moment on video so we can cherish it for years to come and to share that amazing moment with all of you. The Smokies, as always, is full of magic, and today was another example. Now, it was time to get back on the loop. Okay, this is the Lawson place. This was also where they had the post office. This front area is where he had the post office. And it's gotten quite. People have picnics out here. And who can blame them? Look at that. It's the inside. A lot of these steps have been broken since the last time I was here. Figures. Most likely the meat house. Well, at least one of these two were. There's his barn. Amazing. Okay, first camera died. Backup camera. And we continue. Oh, monarch! That was a monarch. That was nice to see. That's like my favorite butterfly. I know, weird. I know, weird. But I love monarchs. When I was a kid, I used to get the caterpillars and put them in an aquarium and fed them until they formed a cocoon and then became butterflies. Then I would turn them loose. Love monarchs. And they're endangered now. So it was really cool to see one. Okay, heading back to the car. And be back.
Something to hold on to. You give me something to hold on to. Till tomorrow comes.
We're here at the Tipton Place. And if you remember from any of those graveyards, the Tipton name was fairly prominent.
It's rude. You're right on people's feelings. Keep on.
Okay.
Look at it.
That's an open doorway.
Whoa. So this is new. For the people that have a hard time resisting the urge to write their name on the building, they got this here for you. novel idea. Here's the upstairs. Not gonna go in there. It's a shame how much the place has been graffitied. It's cool the way they put mud in between the logs. Okay.
Here, here. Mom, it is this one.
Is it? Look here, these little walls.
Okay. Oh, what do we got up here? Neat. We got a park volunteer doing a demonstration of old-timey toys that kiddos used to play back in the day. Okay, we get across the street, be back. More barns. I know that style of barn has a name. Top of my head, I can't think of it right now. I'll put it in the thing, in the video. There's another old wagon. Oh my God, there's another monarch. Hold on. Oh, there's a whole bunch of monarchs. Well, bunch, I should say bunch. There's 3 that I can see. 4. Come on. Bring this big bush of asters. Another one over there. Get that one right there. Oh, get this one right here. Amazing. That's totally cool. Okay, be back. From the monarch butterflies to all the amazing fall colors, nature's artistic talent was again on full display. These types of displays, be it fall foliage, waterfalls, stunning overlooks, or the dancing of butterflies, are what brings me into the natural world as much as possible. It's an addiction, and I'll gladly claim it.
Keeps us from where we wanna be. I know I'll be alright because you give to me something to hold on to. Something to hold on to. You give me something to hold on to. Till tomorrow comes.
Look at the leaves falling. This is the Carter Shields cabin. I don't know if I've seen this one before. Can't recall. Gonna see it now, though. Man, they really put some steep steps in these things, man. Holy cow. Sheesh. Better have some good balance. Fireplace. Dude has his own stream in the backyard. Cannot beat that. Wow. Okay, be back. Yes, there were crowds, and the traffic was insane, as is typical on the Cades Cove loop. But here, on the grounds of this old homestead, there was a soothing sense of peace. I honestly don't know how life was like when people made this old cabin home, but looking around here, I can't help but have a small sense of envy. The beauty was beyond words. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Stopped at another spot over here. It opens up into one of the fields. And I'm going to walk out to this. I don't know what kind of tree it is yet. I'm going to assume it's an oak for right now. Because of that view. I'm going to have another monarch flutter by me. It's nice to see as many monarchs as I have out here in these fields, knowing that they're endangered. It's been cool. Haven't seen any bears. No bears. We've seen a few deer, but I see deer all the time, so they don't really impress me. But, wow. Like I'm surrounded by mountains, which I guess quite literally I am. Okay, I'm gonna take some pictures, be right back. Okay, it wasn't until I came out here, stepped in to check out these trees, it's an old growth, that I realized this is a cemetery. Didn't know it until I was already in here. Can't read any of the stones. So that's why they have it like fenced off. This is a really old one. I guess guess I have to double check the sign that was up there. 'Cause I didn't know this was a cemetery till I got up on it. And I don't know what kind of trees these are. They've been here a long time though. Type of magnolia maybe? Don't know. Sweet. Be back. Okay, so that's been today's adventure at the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Cades Cove. It was a glorious day. The weather was perfect. It was crowded, but that's typical. Oh, nice stream over there. That's kind of pretty. Anyways, yeah, different from our typical videos. Hopefully we can get back to normal here pretty soon. My son's wife gets better. Jennifer, the whole family loves you. Get well soon. You're in our thoughts. Everybody's. Check out all our videos. Normal hiking videos. Like and subscribe. And there will be lots more little adventures like this. We got a really big trail planned as soon as Ian is able to get back on the trail and his wife is all better and things go back to normal, somewhat, however normal gets. I don't know. It's just, yeah, normal is relative. So check out our videos, like and subscribe, and can't think of anything else. Lots of traffic. Everybody's thinking I'm weird, standing out with a stick. Keep your stick on the ice, and adios, man. Cades Cove is full of beauty, wonder, and history. These are only a few of the reasons this is the most visited area of the park. We've recommended this place in previous videos here, and, of course, continue to recommend it despite the traffic and crowds. The fall colors take the beauty of Cades Cove and all of the Smoky Mountains to another level. This place is a must-see. So from our family to yours, we wish you health and happiness, and we'll see you all out on the trail.